Hello, and welcome to your Saturday morning. I'm so glad you are taking some time with me, your host, Dr. Monique. Welcome to Fix Your Plate. I am your host, Dr. Monique, who you know as the physician in the kitchen. Y'all, I'm so excited about today. I can't, let me kind of do the bill keeping part, the housekeeping part, so I can get to why we're really here today. I am Dr. Monique, board certified family physician, again, who you know as a physician in the kitchen. I'm a two-time Amazon bestseller, a blogger, a consultant. I do it all. I do all the things all the time. Okay. I am the hardest working woman on the radio. But you can buy my latest book, Doc Fix Your Plate, the physician in the kitchen's prescriptions for your healthy meal makeover at docfixmyplatebook.com. All that being said, y'all, okay, if you watch my show on Facebook, Veganish, I always say that those are the fastest 30 minutes of my day. I want to amend that because I think this is going to be the fastest 30 minutes of my day because I'm on here with one of my girls, okay? Yes, I'm a doctor, we're physicians, but we're people first. And when I tell you that this is one of my girls, I can't even. So I'm going to read a little bit of her bio so you can just see how awesome she is. And then I'm going to let her come on here and do her own little brag, pat my own shoulder kind of thing. And then we're going to get into it. We've got some great questions and we're going to just get into it. I am so glad to be joined today by Dr. LaKeischa. Dr. LaKeischa is one of my super friends. She's amazing, okay? Like just amazeballs. But her full name is Dr. LaKeischa Webb McMillan, but you just need to call her Dr. LaKeischa. She was born and raised in Huntsville, Alabama, where my folks are from, so you know she's good people. She earned her undergraduate degree in biology, cum laude, from Oakwood College, now Oakwood University, and continued her studies at Loma Linda University School of Medicine. In addition to her academic degrees, Dr. LaKeischa is certified in the use of the Da Vinci robotic system for minimally invasive laparoscopic surgery. Her ability to teach and reach women has expanded through her bestseller, The Other PMS, Your Survival Guide for Perimenopause and Menopause. Her passion for helping women in perimenopause and menopause include her contribution to being on the advisory board of the only FDA-approved physician-designed vaginal lube, Momentum Intimacy, a gifted speaker, integrative OBGYN, hormone specialist, and Amazon bestselling author. Dr. LaKeischa helps women in perimenopause and menopause who are struggling with depleting hormones get their hormones balanced, regain mental sharpness, and have energy to last the entire day. Say all of that. If you want to become a hormone hottie, follow Dr. LaKeischa on all social media at Dr. LaKeischa MD, and that's DrLakeisschMD. And we're going to talk a little bit later about how you can follow her as well and get some of her products. But girl, I'm tired just from reading all of that.
Dr. Monique, I am super excited to be on your show. Oh my goodness. I don't think the people are ready for us because
they're not ready.
You said, you are my sis, my mogul sis, and I don't think they're ready for all of the heavy hitter medical stuff, but the shenanigans that makes us who we are. So,
shenanigans. That is the word. That is the word of the day. Shenanigans.
But it makes medicine come to life. It makes it tolerable. I love what you do. Oh my goodness.
You need to get me together with the perimenopause because, don't let the baby face fool you. But I am either approaching or in that age or whatever. So, we had that conversation about the basement and the roof and the walls.
You remember?
Girl, because you broke that all the way down. I was like, wait. And that's one of the things I love about you is you put stuff in terms that people understand because, oh my God, I'm of a certain age. I remember like menopause, where if you just said, like, they didn't even used to say the word menopause.
Oh no. It was just like a change.
And you had to like walk around people like, pregnancy, let me do menarche or onset of menses, pregnancy and menopause are the times of a female, young girl, woman's life It's just crazy. It's shenanigans.
Yes. Yes. I'm so glad we are saying that word. It is. It's shenanigans. And you're trying to figure it out. And you're trying to figure out what tools you use at which stage in wherever you are in.
And it's so, and again, what you do is so important because we know you didn't talk about certain things, right? My mother and I just had this conversation the other day. I really don't remember telling my mother talking to me about sex and my period. Like, I remember I was 12, I was in pain. I remember she told my father and I heard him laughing and I was like, what the heck is so funny? Now I know that was like a nervous laughter because he's like, oh my God, my baby is not a baby anymore. At the time, I just remember thinking I failed to see the humor.
Yes.
So I'm so glad that we have you to do what you're doing because you're peeling back those onion layers. I got to put everything in food analogies. You're peeling back those layers and normalizing things, explaining things to people. So keep doing what you do, sis, because you're doing it. So again, thank you just so much for being on the show. So I'm so glad you mentioned your baby mogul because one of the first questions I wanted to ask you, it's September, right? So we are in the thick of it. Folks are back in school, hopefully in person for the most part. So it's back to school time for most of our listeners. What is your biggest challenge as the all things, every woman that you are? What is your biggest challenge for getting quick and nutritious meals on the table on a busy work and school night?
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Dr. Monique, that is such a loaded question. And it is such an appropriate question because we as a family had to face that question. Can I be transparent with your community?
Please. We're all family here. So please share.
So I'm going to open up and I'm going to let y'all know. So back in January, February, I was working on some major projects and everybody knows when mommy has to buckle it down, things get a little cattywampus in the house, right? I mean, I have a wonderful partner. My husband is amazing. We have a very non-traditional marriage. We've always said that from the get-go. And actually, the kitchen is his domain. Like, he can cook, right? So I know I'm blessed and spoiled. Y'all, I already know, okay? I can cook. I can, I make sure everybody likes what I can fix, but that's just not my thing. And so he was actually going through a time too at his job. Y'all, we were eating out so much. It was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous that our financial guy had to yoke us up. Like he was like, what's going on? And I looked back at our budget for the month of January and I had a choke moment. I was like, oh wait, what? This is what we spent? Okay, right. And he was like, look here. And this is why you have to have people on your team, people like Dr. Monique May that has that 30,000 foot view, sometimes to be able to just kind of help pull you out of the mire of the everyday. And he was like, look, y'all are busy professionals. Your kids are at the age now where they can actually help out. And he was like, y'all need a meal prep service. Y'all need some type of service that basically does all this for you. You can't stop by the grocery store every night on the way home or once a week and try and do the meal. This is just not where you are right now. I would love to be able to do that, but it just was not practical. So we sat down and chose a delivery service. It has been amazing. Wow. Like seriously, because everything comes to us. Our daughter is now cooking more. Like I can tell her, she can go through and say, okay, this is what I'm gonna fix tonight. And like one night she made the meatballs, rice, and carrot meal. Okay. And everything is fresh. So that's all I'm gonna say. But it was something that we needed. So when you're in the thick of things, having people on your team that can help give you guidance is key. So for us, it was a combination. It was a 1-2 punch. It was a punch in our pocket and kind of a nudge from our financial person that was like, whoa, y'all have some goals. This is eating into your goals. Look at this. And it's not healthy. I mean, it was really not healthy. I was packing on, stuff was happening on the nether regions. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what is going on? So for us, it was looking at our family unit, whatever that is for you, and figuring out what works for you. Now, we realized when we first started, we got like all these meals, right? And it was like, we're going to do lunch and dinner. That was too much for us. And so we have now actually pared it down to, hey, okay, we really need dinner Monday through Thursday. We've decided Friday nights are going to be our little out night or whatever. Saturdays, we tend to cook and eat as a family, as, you know, a family meal. And actually, you know what, Dr. Monique, getting that service made us sit at the table more during the week.
That's awesome. That is
so
awesome.
These are little nuggets. These are little things that can start happening. It's the domino effect. When you start making a decision that literally impacts other areas of your life. So we started eating at the table more together, which what we used to do when they were little. And we've gotten back to that. And now we have more of a structure and more of kind of what is expected. So nobody's looking at me when
Right.
mommy finishes telemedicine day, like, what are we eating tonight? What are we going to fix? No. They're the cards up there, the meal cards. What meal do you guys want tonight?
Right. Dr. LaKeischa, you have, oh my God, there's so much to unpack there. I love all of it. I'm here for like literally everything you said, because you talked about the finances, which is, you know, not really what I talk about on my show, but I do say one of my slogans is invest in your health one plate at a time, and always get the best nutrition that is available to you, right?
Yes.
If you can't shop at Whole Paycheck, like a certain store is nicknamed, or if you go, well, you shop at Walmart, whatever, always get the best nutrition you can. And so you hit upon that. And you also talked about teaching your children how to be autonomous and independent and help to share the load now that they're at that age. And I'll be honest with you, since we're being transparent, that's something I kind of dropped the ball on. My son is in college now, and he's in the dorm, but he may have to move off campus next year. And I'm like, oh crap, I got to make sure he knows how to cook. I know that sounds crazy, right? But I have to do that. But food is like one of my love languages. So when I cook for him, I'm like, oh, look, baby, look what mommy made. Yes. But at the same time, I kind of was hindering him a little bit. He has to make rice and a few basic things, but he can't live on rice. So next summer, we're going to have a crash course on, you know, how to make your own food. But I love that you all were able to, first of all, had a finance person, you know, your advisor telling you this is what you all need to do. So, and it's just, I love how the pieces all fit together. You recognize the problem, you took action, and look at the benefits you're getting from it. And, you know, meal prepping and meal planning is dear to my heart. It's the subject of my first Amazon bestseller.
I can't wait for your meal prep.
I wish we lived closer. I so wish we lived closer. But yeah, so my first book was Meal Masters, Your Simple Guide to Modern Day Meal Planning. And I took a lot of the stuff that Dr. LaKeischa just talked about. So thank you for that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Switching gears a little bit. So now that we've kind of talked about the, you know, how does a super mom, super wife, superwoman get food on the table? And one other point that you made too, I want to address how flexible you all are. Because I think sometimes people think, oh, I get this meal plan, I got to lock in. And that's actually not true. You can definitely tailor it to your, you know, your dietary preferences, your family size, how many deliveries you want per week. So chef's kiss to everything you said. So let's switch gears a little bit, because we've got you on here as a menopause expert. So let's use your menopause expertise. So this is, you know, September, we're going into October, of course, Breast Cancer Month. So, you know, one of the questions I want to ask you about is, with menopause, what would you say is the most common complaint or concern that your clients or patients have about their metabolism slowing down? And what role do you think food plays in that?
Oh, Dr. Monique, this is that big loaded question.
And you only got like 5 minutes to answer.
Right, exactly, right? I got to hurry up and say something, right? So one thing I do see is that the main complaint that a lot of women talk about is...
Wait, hold on one second, Dr. LaKeischa. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to do a little bit of a cliffhanger. We're going to do a cliffhanger. So you got to come back on the other side and hear what she answers, because you don't want to miss it. So we're going to take a quick break, pay some bills, and we're going to come back with Dr. LaKeischa, the menopause expert, and she's going to answer that question about menopause, metabolism, food, all of it. All right. See you on the other side.
If you want to educate, empower, and inspire our community, we're providing a wonderful opportunity for anyone who feels they can make a positive impact in the lives of others by applying to be an on-air radio personality. To set up an interview, call 877-342-7770. That's 877-342-7770 to apply. This is your chance to step out on faith. This is your chance to get the experience and education that you need in order to launch to the next level of greatness and make a significant difference. WDRB Media is now hiring on-air radio personalities. If this is you, no experience is required, no previous education needed. They do all the training. Call 877-342-7770 to set up your interview today.
All right, welcome back to Fix Your Plate with Dr. Monique, the physician in the kitchen. If you are just joining us, y'all gonna have to go back and catch the replay because we are talking to my super friend, Dr. LaKeischa, the menopause expert. And right before the break, I asked her about women in menopause and their metabolism and what role does she see food plays and all that. And she was just about to answer when we had to go to commercial break. So Dr. LaKeischa, what's your answer to that? I'm going through menopause. My metabolism is slowing down. What do I do?
Oh my goodness. Yes. So the big thing I hear, of course, is I call it the used tos. Okay. I used to know how to take off that 5 pounds after Thanksgiving. I used to be able to just do this exercise or do this or restrict that. And now it's not working. And so this is because a lot of your hormones have shifted. They've changed. And that's a whole nother conversation. And so what I hear and what shows up is the muffin tops or the tire, the spare tire, right? So we either have the spare tire or the muffin tops. And so what I tend to talk about a lot of is about inflammation. Inflammation is now coming out to be a play a big role when we talk about how the body is starting to show up in this perimenopause and menopausal phase. So there are certain areas in your immune system that get triggered. One in particular we know is called NF-κB factor. And that is a particular immune modulator that gets triggered by either what you eat, by not enough sleep, by stress, by trauma. There's so many things that can trigger this particular pathway that stimulates your adipose tissue or your fat cells to actually hold on to fat more and to not release it and allow it to be released when you speed up your metabolism. It actually kind of slows down your metabolism. The other thing that happens is most women become insulin resistant because their testosterone and their estradiol goes down. And when you are insulin resistant, you hold on to that fat a lot more. So a lot of things that I actually work on is I work on a lot of inflammatory reducing types of either activities or foods. So we know curcumin is one of those things that decreases inflammation. I know you talk a lot about that. That's a great spice to actually work with. Another thing is called resveratrol. Now, I'm not telling y'all to go out and drink red wine. I didn't say that. Okay, because we know resveratrol is found in grapes, but we know that if you use it as a supplement, you, along with curcumin, those two, that 1-2 combination can really help decrease and downregulate that NF-κB factor and help you to actually start diuresing and actually start releasing some of that fat. Things such as inositol is another thing that we use to help with that insulin resistance. So those are the 2 big things that I really work on with my menopausal women.
So we talked about inflammation and we've talked about metabolism. What about postmenopausal osteoporosis? Then them bones. Let's talk about them bones, right? Because that's one of the real concerns that some women have, particularly the risk of falling, fracturing a hip. Yes. We know that reduces, motility, autonomy, and can actually place them at risk for an earlier death. So what should menopausal women be doing, eating? Like, what do you advise your patients about when it comes to their bones?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. That was one of the key areas that the WHI initiative was looking at. You know, when we talk about the WHI, a lot of people, which is the Women's Health Initiative, a lot of people only think of the hormone side of it, but it had 3 distinct areas. And one of those areas was actually looking at lifestyle and supplementation when it came to osteoporosis, because that was a long-term chronic illness that caused a lot of morbidity and mortality in women. And so what we know is that vitamin D is essential for our bones, but vitamin D is more than just for our bones. We're learning that it helps with hormone metabolism. It can actually help with the heartbeat, you know, making sure that you stay in rhythm. It actually helps with the immune system. So vitamin D is not just for our bones, but it's huge for our bones. And vitamin D, along with vitamin K2, when you pair those, it makes vitamin D absorb a lot better. So if you can find a vitamin D supplement with K2, if you don't have any problems with bleeding, you know, if you're not on a blood thinner, I want to make that plain, you can do that. And so that will help to actually absorb the vitamin D. And vitamin D, what it does is it helps your little cells in the bone, which are osteoblasts, builders, to kind of like become stronger. The other thing that we know is that testosterone and estradiol together actually have a synergistic effect with that vitamin D, so that it's that 1-2 punch. So that's why we talk about bioidentical hormones. And that's what I talk a lot about in my seminars and the hormone disruptor seminars that I do. But what I really, really pound in is weight bearing exercise. So the ability to get out of a chair, that motion to just be able to stand up without help from your upper body has been shown to have a big correlation with your longevity. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So really work on that, you know, work on getting up and down out of a chair, just even a chair, your mobility, these hip flexors. So it's not just the bones, but it's also the musculoskeletal system together, making sure that these muscle groups are intact, making sure that they are strong enough that they have not atrophied. So it's a matter of making sure you have the right supplements on board. If you're not getting a good diet, because Dr. Monique talks about that, you got to get those all-rounded stuff in there. You got to make sure you're getting your green leafies in there. So you're getting your micronutrients and those phytonutrients. All of those things help all of those little reactions in your body go well.
So basically what I'm hearing you say is all of the things help all of the things. I mean, it's just pretty much is what it comes to.
Absolutely. You know, I say this all the time. We've gotten really good at dismembering the body in medicine, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Everybody just looks at their little section. Exactly. But when you take that step back, you're a whole person. You are a complete being that has interactions within these organ systems. And so, yes, everything has to do with everything.
I'm dropping all kind of nuggets on here. Well, Dr. LaKeischa, you know, like I said, I knew this 30 minutes was going to go super fast. As we get ready to wrap up, what is like one take home thing if you want, because people basically need to follow you, start listening to you so that they can get your regular, you know, information, life-changing information. But what parting words or parting advice do you want to share with the ladies and those who love them listening to us right now?
Oh my goodness. My biggest takeaway is making sure that you fill your cup. I am so a big proponent of that right now. And it's probably because that's the phase I'm in too. So, you know, you kind of tend to preach to the choir a little bit when you're sitting in the choir. Mm-hmm. And I am in a phase of learning to fill my cup every single day, however that looks. And I'm learning what that looks like, because if you don't do that, your adrenal glands will hijack your system and take over. And what they do is they actually go over to the sex hormones and go, shut it down. She's gotta survive every day. So why have sex, have fun? No. She's got more important things to do. The adrenal glands are driving this car. So this is what we're going to do. So however it looks, make sure you are filling your cup, be it with meditation, be it with intentional timed meditation in the day. And it can be any type of meditation. I had to learn from my meditation coach that mine is a moving meditation at times.
I see you doing your yoga.
Okay, so
I see you on the gram doing it, girl.
Hello. and you know, taking that time to really be able to say, okay, what is it that I'm supposed to do today? What is my next today? and not what's all the next. What are all the steps? Now, sometimes you have to take that 30,000 foot view so you can make sure that you're getting your projects and whatever, all of your to-dos checked off. But today, don't worry about more than you can handle today.
I love that.
Give yourself so much grace to relax your shoulders, to take deep breaths. That's another thing I talk about. I talk about breathing, breath work, and making sure that you fill your cup so that your adrenals, they go, and they go and they stay in the compartment of the car they're supposed to.
How about that? I love that. You see hashtag, what is it? Self-care Saturday, self-care Sunday.
Yeah.
It really should be hashtag self-care every day, because as you said, it doesn't have to be a big elaborate demonstration. It can literally be just that 5 to 10 minutes, go in your bathroom, close the door, take a steam shower, whatever, have that me time. I was a mentor right before the pandemic to some young ladies here at a local community college. And at one point, they asked all the mentors to kind of, give a quote, give some encouragement. And my quote was, it's okay to be selfish in order to be selfless. And so as mothers, more often than not, we do what? We put everybody else first. And then you wondering why you running around half crazy, can't sleep, packing on pounds, all this stuff because you're going. But like Dr. LaKeisha told us tonight, put those kids in the kitchen. Let the babies,
Hello.
let them do age appropriate things, and you can start this as itty bitties, right? You can you go grocery shopping, you come home and you're breaking down stuff for the week. Let them start putting their little snacks, their little Cheerios, and make it into a counting game. It can be educational, and it can just, we don't have to do, again, all the things all the time. But Dr. LaKeisha, how can people, like I mentioned you on Instagram, and we said your info in the beginning, but if they want to get your books, your products, book you for speaking, because you literally do it all. So how do they be like, hey, I want to be down with Dr. LaKeisha?
Absolutely. You can go to my website, which is Dr. LaKeisha MD. That's DrLakeishamD.com. And you can find all the little tabs there. But one of the best ways to find things too is to follow me on Instagram. And if you click the link in that bio, it takes you to all those other little sections.
It's a long list, y'all.
So you can buy the book there. You can actually, schedule a consult with me. There are all the links that are there. You can get your free hormone quiz so that we can connect and talk and chat. I'm on TikTok finally got on TikTok. So I'm on
killing it on TikTok. Okay. Killing it. So if you want to be entertained and educated, please follow Dr. LaKeisha on TikTok.
And I am Dr. LaKeisha MD on all the platforms. So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, on all the social medias at that same handle, Dr. LaKeisha MD. So that's where you can find everything.
Dr. LaKeisha, I just love you. And you don't even know, because our schedules are so busy, this was the third retime. We were like, can you do it this way? Can you do it this way, this day? And she came through for me today. So I am forever in her debt. And I just love her. And we're going to have you back on here.
I would love to.
We didn't get into, you kind of touched on it. So now we have a built-in cliffhanger, because you started talking about sex. And people are like, wait, what? Wait, what? So we gotta come back on here. We gotta get our people to get together and get us together, because I've done shows and written blogs about food and sex, right?
Yes.
We talk about it a lot with men, because we all know the problems men can have. But guess what? Women can have issues too.
Hello.
And they don't have to even be menopausal. So I would love to have you back on to give us and we can just dedicate that whole 30 minutes to just that, because
I'm there.
Topic.
I'm there.
Dr. LaKeisha, I love it. If you guys are wanting to follow me, I am Dr. Monique I'm Dr. Monique, and you can also follow me at Physician in the Kitchen on all platforms. Again, my book, you can get your autographed copy of my book at docfixmyplatebook.com. That's DOCFIXMYPLATEBOOK.com. You can also reach out at info@drmoniquemay.com if you want to, ask questions on the show. book me for a consultation, for speaking, you name it. Because, we're doing it all out here. We got our main jobs, we got our side hustles, we got our brands. So find us and let us help change your life. And remember, invest in your health, one plate at a time. Until next week, I'm Dr. Monique. You all have a good one.